Hey guys, welcome back to Two Girls One Bong.
The podcast that's better when you're stoned and on time. My name is MacDizzle.
I'm Joya. Let's dive on in a little bit light.
Third week in a row, she's late. And I swore last week that I was going to be on time and like ready and active. And I had that in my head. When you texted me, I was like, why the fuck is Joya texting me right now? And I was like, I went through our text messages and I was like, this is why. Maybe I should be more on top of reading text messages when people send them.
I know. Well, it makes it hard too when we switch days. We switch days and time today. So This is a different day and time than we normally do. But glad to have you here. Glad we're here together.
I'm glad we're here.
Yes.
You said you had news for me.
Okay, well, it's not good news. It's horrible news. And it's terrifying.
Oh.
I just got home just a few minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. And I opened my door to let my doggies outside. And luckily, they were all still super excited to see me because I had just got home. So they were all kind of on top of me. But I look over out into the grass off yonder. Snake. Long snake.
That's something that because you're right next to those bushes. There's going to be so many of those.
Well, we just had another one recently, like literally 2 weeks ago. We just had one that was definitely a non-venomous snake. But the one that I just found was potentially a rattlesnake because I didn't know what to do. I Googled very quickly, like what to do to get a snake out of your yard. And one of the things that came up was spray water at it. So I sprayed it with my hose and it left. It started moving as soon as I took 2 steps towards it. It was like, trying to go out. But I'm spraying it with water and I'm spraying it to get the fuck out of my yard. But I don't know if it stayed right by my fence. So I'm continuing to spray.
Yeah.
And as soon as it gets out of my yard. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
He rattled at me. I don't know if it was a hiss or a rattle. I don't know the difference between the sounds because snakes do hiss. But it was a.
Here, I'm going to show you what the sound of a rattlesnake is. It's a very specific sound.
Okay.
Rattlesnake.
Because, and then he stayed there. And I was also talking to Dev before we got on and telling her that the way that snakes look, like just by looking at them, rattlesnakes have much thicker scales than
body. Yeah, they're like very scaly.
The scales are like they stick out and they're thick versus like
they're rugged. Yeah.
Exactly. Versus like something that's non-venomous has the smooth scales.
This is what a rattlesnake sounds like.
Oh, I think that's what I heard. Really? Like exactly the same. That's crazy.
No, I don't want a fucking 3-minute video. I just want to hear the rattle.
No, isn't YouTube so annoying like that? It's like, why?
Rattlesnake sound. Give me a 10-second clip. Yeah. 29 seconds. 29 seconds. All right, here we go.
Girl, 100%. 100%. 100%. 100 fucking percent. I wish I would have taken a video of that sound. I got scared. After I heard that, I got scared. And I was like, oh, fuck. I need to go fucking inside. 100%. And I could tell, by the way, let me send you this picture. Because I took a photo of it. It was sitting right outside of my fence. It nestled up right there, right outside of my fence, right on the other side of it. I'm going to send it to you. And you can tell by looking at the scales that they are not
a rattlesnake.
Smooth.
Yeah. So, well, I would look into what you can do to prevent, because people have been living in Texas with dogs for years. So, I mean, there's obviously something you can do to prevent that.
That's why it's so funny because Adam, as soon as we moved in here, Adam was like, snake fence. Like, whatever we can do to prevent snakes, snakes. And I was kind of like, not like I want snakes in my yard or anything, but I was kind of like, I think we're going to be okay. Like, let's put, we'll figure it out. We'll find something.
Snake fence. Whatever. He was on to something.
Yeah. Well, now we've had 2 snakes in 2 weeks and that one was definitely a fucking rattlesnake. So that is just really scary because that's what I told him. He's like, rattlesnakes, venomous snakes. And I'm like, babe, there's not that many of those. Like they have them here, but they're There is way more of the non-venomous ones. There's
Okay, I was
way
like,
more of them.
if there's anything I know about Texas is they have fucking snakes for days, okay? There's a snake in my boot. Come on.
Woody was from Texas.
He was from Texas.
But yeah, dude, there's a ton of non-venomous ones. And I look at the next door posts and the Facebook posts and stuff, and it's always people posting rat snake, fucking garden snake, or whatever the fuck.
Did you post your rattlesnake one?
No, but I'm going to and be like, how the fuck do I get this thing to not come back? Because I called, they have like snake removal and relocation services. And so I called one. And he's like, I'm not even near you, and I can't come down there today. You can try 311. But it
honestly,
was like, yeah.
Honestly, just watch a couple Crocodile Dundee videos where he handles snakes.
Yeah.
And just hop. He knew what he was doing. So
yeah.
Watch a couple of those videos and just mimic what you see.
Should be easy if you put it like
rest
that.
in peace to the Crocodile
Dundee. Oh, Crocodile Hunter.
That's what I meant, not Crocodile Dundee. Crocodile Hunter. Steve Irwin.
Crocodile. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Crikey.
Yeah, he's the reason all of us think Australians say crikey. Take it up with him.
Take it up with Steve Irwin for the Australian stereotypes.
With Steve.
I wonder if he was
do that.
Yeah, I wonder if he was as popular. I'm sure he was, but I wonder if he was as popular in Australia as he was in the States.
I'm sure he was
national
more
treasure
in Australia. Like literally could not walk outside in Australia, you know?
Yeah,
because there's like people who make it in other countries. When they make it in the United States, their country is like
yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
Like
if you're not watching, if you're only listening, MacDizzle was doing some sort of a deep throat with her microphone. That's how.
No, it was excitement.
Oh, I muted my mic by accident. Yeah. Anyway,
what did I say? You need to get you one of these little wind buffers. I was doing a test on my stream the other day, and it makes such a difference.
I will.
It's like $5.
It's
like $5. Get a fun color.
I write down. Hang on. Good
stuff.
I write down order muff for Mikeyana.
In other news in my life, I got the VR headset.
Yes.
We played this game last night called Five Nights at Freddy's, and basically the premise of it is like you're a security guard at this pizza parlor, and it's like Chuck E. Cheese, and so they have like animatronic animals, but they like wake up and they're like possessed at night. And so basically you're like, the first 2 levels so far is you're sitting at a security desk and you have access to all of these cameras, so you can see when they're moving around, but there's a blind spot in front of your door, and so you have a limited battery supply. And so you're like sitting there, and sometimes you just see them walk past the door, and you like have to slam the door shut because holding the door shut uses a lot of power.
Oh my
yeah.
Dude,
oh my god, it's so scary. I screamed so many times.
Fucking terrifying.
Yeah. It was very.
You
have to try it once. You have to try it.
The game itself or the VR headset? Okay.
The game itself.
Yeah.
You have to try it.
My brothers had one of those like at the pawn shop, and so they brought it home like when we got together for Christmas, and we were doing like this zombie punching game. So you have to like punch zombies, and it was hilarious to watch everyone play it. And then recently, when we were at Adam's sister's house for Christmas, they had one, and I was doing this like walk the plank. Have you seen that?
Oh, was it like on the Empire State Building? Like you look down and it's super scary.
Yes, dude.
I saw that. I couldn't even do it. I like looked over I was like, nope. I didn't even like take a step forward.
Dude, it was so fucking scary. I was like terrified. And yeah, when if you step off, it is very, very, very scary, which is insane because it's like.
Does it make you fall if you jump off?
Yes. You fall. You're like free falling through the air. It is fucking terrifying. So
I tried
scary.
to do this I tried to do a roller coaster one today, and I'm not even joking, threw up after. I was like,
Oh my
"Ugh!"
God.
It was a dry heave, so nothing came out, but it made me feel so sick, the motion sickness.
Yeah. Oh my God. Isn't that fucking crazy? It is 2022 and we can have serious physical reactions to completely unreal situations.
Things that are not happening.
Like, that is fucking crazy.
There's a clip of me screaming. Let me see. It's on Rajul's Instagram.
Oh my God.
He recorded a bit of the.
Oh my God.
That's that scream happened so many times last night. Like I had the VR headset on. And this fucking animatronic fox killed me. It was so scary.
Dude, that is fucking hilarious. That was a classic MacDizzle scream. Yeah! That is so funny.
Yeah, it comes from the chest.
So that was a real fucking. I'm fucking scared. Yes, I would. It's funny.
That was real fear that you heard.
Yeah, dude, that is fucking hilarious. Those things are so fun though. Like, what a fucking cool thing.
They are.
Hang on.
I always want to tell you to get these things, but you hate games, so.
Get the VR headset? That's like, I mean, I don't hate games. I just there's there's games that I like, but I'm not a video game fanatic. It was when I saw you post trivia. I was like, oh, now that's a game I could play. That sounds like a fun game. Like, that sounds like a great time.
You should do it.
I should.
I mean, I don't know if you want to buy a Switch just for trivia, but I use my Nintendo Switch. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So.
But if you
already have like an Xbox or something, so you might be able to download like a trivia game on there. It's just Trivial Pursuit. They might make it for other systems.
I have totally heard that before.
Oh shit.
What?
Babe, it's street sweeping right now.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's on the other side though. You're okay.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Oh my gosh. Rajul just hopped up out of bed. Or hopped up from wherever he was and then was like, oh, okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
False alarm.
I'm ready.
Cheers.
You are. Cheers, bitch. I just got a text from Adam's sister that said that the snake will be back if it was comfortable enough to come into the yard like that, because apparently they don't like dog poop. I don't know if they don't like
dog poop.
No, she said dog poop is supposed to deter snakes.
Woo! Leave that shit out there, baby.
I know. I'm like, everybody, it's time to shit. Everybody line up along. And my dogs like to poop on the perimeter. Nobody poops like in the middle of the yard. Everybody's like along the fences. Dude, I'm gonna have to like fucking what do I even do? Like, I have to go outside before every time I let them out and inspect the yard completely. Like, I just have to go and turn on the hose every time and spray my whole yard.
No, I'm pretty sure it's a seasonal thing. Like in the winter, it probably won't be as much of a problem because they're dormant,
definitely
you know.
But it's May, and I have like 5. So you have like months.
Several months,
at least 5 or 6.
I'm sure there's something that you can buy, like a lining for your fence that you can just dig. A little bit, you can line the fence with some kind of thing.
That's exactly what I was telling Dev about. We're gonna get like a very, very small crisscross type of fencing that will go like with just like a 1/2 inch between each square kind of thing. But even a tiny bit of
and it might
get through that.
But what I'm a good idea also might be to put some kind of spike on the back so that they can't climb up it either.
Smart. We're also
Just make it uncomfortable.
Yeah. I'm sure Adam is gonna go to, he was like, we're going tonight. Like, we're gonna get everything that we possibly can, especially knowing that it was a venomous snake makes it 10 times worse for me.
Yeah,
I was like,
that is very fucking scary because that could kill Frankie in an
any
instant.
of my dogs. It could kill any of my dogs.
Not venomous Frankie snake, for sure dead.
Well, Frankie could die from the other types of snakes too, but my big dogs won't die from a non-venomous snake. They'd be running from my dogs unless it was a big chunky one, but I think those ones probably aren't coming into my yard looking for food. I'm sure they have a territory that they have established, the big old ones, but anyway, I'm very scared. So
yeah, no, that's really scary. I'm like, that's the one thing that I like about living kind of like in the city, I guess, is that I don't have to worry about animals and like bugs and shit like that. Like my worst problem is mice. You know,
that's when you need a snake.
And I took care of those.
Snake is like the mice.
That's when you need a snake.
You did like the humane traps, didn't you? And you like it trapped it and you put it outside. Aww.
I drove it like down the street, like past the dog park to like this big dirt place where I was like, there have to be hundreds of mice living here. Go make friends, you know?
Yeah. So
I released all of them
join
out there.
a mouse clan or something.
Yeah, probably tore their family apart, but I have dreams that they reunited there.
Yeah.
Although I did put 2 in different places. I did put 2 in one place and like a couple others in a different one.
They probably have no fucking idea. They probably do not remember. I mean, I don't know. Do mice have familial relationships like that? They probably do.
I don't know.
Because I think that's why they do all these testing on mice, because we share like 99% of our DNA or something.
No.
Yeah, we share like a ton of DNA with rats and mice.
Oh, man.
But it's like that with like everything. Like we share DNA with like a fucking banana or something. I'm pretty sure.
Gross.
Yeah, truly.
I don't identify as having banana DNA.
You give banana DNA. Sorry.
I don't. That's alleged, and it's never been proven.
You give watermelon and dragon fruit DNA with your hair. That's what I get. Watermelon on the light pink side, and well, I guess watermelons are pretty fucking red. But
they are.
Welcome to this podcast where we just ramble. I want to take another
took a bong rip of some. Okay, you do that. I took a bong rip of these moon rocks.
Ooh.
And look at my eyes.
Yeah. You look high as fuck.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I am high as fuck.
Those moon rocks will fucking get you. What a great product. What a great product for someone to think of.
It was funny. I pulled it out of the jar and Rajul was like, "Is that weed? Why does it look like that?" I said, "This is that good stuff, baby."
That's so funny. Especially as somebody, dude, that shit will scare the shit out of somebody who like doesn't really smoke. Not somebody like Rajul where he like really doesn't smoke at all, but people who like, you know, just dabble in it. They're like, "What the fuck is that?" Yeah.
Are you doing drugs? Yes. It's black tar heroin.
Yeah, it's weed with a little heroin sprinkled on top.
What does heroin look like? I've never.
Black.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never actually I feel like I've seen people inject things before in movies.
But you've never seen it in real life.
Seen what the heroin looks like.
Yeah, I've never seen it in real life either. Besides, like, in movies and in like shows, like
I don't even remember being like. I don't even remember seeing what heroin looks like. Is it like a powder?
So it comes in a powder also, but then there's black tar heroin, which is different. It's like a different consistency, I think. God, I guess I shouldn't talk about this like I really know, but I've seen it in a powder form, like in Drugs Inc. and fucking Intervention and shit, because you can snort it. Also,
you know what? I have seen like the fake whatever I've seen it in powder form in movies.
Yes. Well, yeah, because they show it in fucking the intervention.
In Pulp Fiction, isn't she doing?
Yes, that's what I was
Isn't she
just
doing
about
heroin?
to say. Uma Thurman's
And she fucking
famous
dies?
fucking famous fucking nosebleed.
I'm well versed
Does
in
she
heroin.
die?
Apparently, I know all about it. No,
She doesn't
basically
die.
yes, but then they put the adrenaline needle in her chest, and it like restarts her heart.
And she comes back to life. Oh, okay.
Yeah, she basically did die though, more or less. Her heart.
So she did die. Yeah. Oh my god.
Well, if your heart stops, that's not death necessarily. Like when your brain activity stops, that's when you're technically dead. But without assistance, yes, probably more than likely death within a couple minutes.
Yeah, on her way. She had one foot
just
in,
knocking
one foot
on
out.
heaven's door. knocking on heaven's door.
Is that a real song or did you make that up?
It's a real song. I'm gonna play you a little bit of it. I'm gonna play you.
Okay, yeah, please do.
I feel like
That's
the
really
podcast
funny.
deserves this too.
Yeah, please. We would love to hear it.
I don't know what it's called, but I think knocking on
knocking on heaven's door.
I was gonna write oh, here it is, Bob Dylan. Yeah. We're gonna skip to the good part. He did heroin.
I like it.
Hey, 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 hey.
Wow.
Oh my God. Our producer says when she was little, she thought it would say Devin's door.
Oh, that's so cute.
You dumbass.
She's like, shut up. She's like, get away from my door. Somebody already made a song about it. You won't leave me alone.
Wait, did Bob Dylan do heroin?
Knocking on Devin's door.
Oh, Bob Dylan has admitted he had a heroin habit at the height of his fame.
Dude, why? How do these artists, musicians do heroin
and then perform?
Go? How?
Cocaine? Is it cocaine?
Yeah, probably. Probably
that
both.
Sounds
you're right.
So dangerous for your body.
And that's why so many people fucking die. That's what they say too. A lot of times it's like, especially with all like the fentanyl overdoses and stuff, they're like, people are not that fentanyl's not fucking deadly and horrible, but they're saying like a lot of people are like mixing drugs. And it's like fucking so much easier to die on anything when you mix.
Well, and like, because I think people don't know what they're doing, really. They don't know what their body can take necessarily.
Yeah.
You know?
And remember, we were talking about, I know I told you about this because this girl that I follow is like a fucking biology major. And she went on this whole Twitter rant about how a lot of people die in hotel rooms or places. Your body, when it is in a familiar place, it feels more comfortable, like just naturally, and you are able, your drug tolerance goes up. But when you're in a foreign place that you don't know, your body is on alert, and you don't need as much drugs to get as high as you normally would. But if you do your normal amount of drugs in a hotel room, your body might not.
It's gonna feel harder for some people, you know.
Yeah. Wow. So then a lot of people
crazy to think about. Bro.
It's fucking insane.
If you or someone you know is addicted to drugs, I don't know the number, but look it up. Give them a call. Real talk, bro.
That shit is so sad.
Scary.
I feel like I see so many like TikToks too of people that are like, my mom or my dad or my grandma or my sister or something is like on drugs, like in the street, and it's so sad. Or when they show like the progression of like people from like healthy to like on drugs.
Oh my God, it breaks my heart every time, bro.
It's so sad.
No one ever looks better.
No,
not once has everyone started doing heroin and looked better. Not ever,
dude. But also that's what when I would watch those interventions all the time, and there would sometimes be people who you look at
look
them
normal.
and you can't tell that they're on
Mhm.
heroin. And I'm like, that's fucking
Very high functioning. Those are the people that are scariest, bro.
Mhm.
Like, because those are the people who can get away with getting behind the wheel of a car and like going out in public,
coming
like that's
into your
scary.
house. Yeah, because
Like
there's
day walking, you know, like just
yeah.
irresponsible on hair when you leave them with your child. Like, I'm
Oh
just
my
saying,
God.
you know, like there's so
Jesus
many
fuck.
things that could go wrong. Don't
Jesus
do heroin,
Christ.
kids. Just
I
smoke
know,
weed, bro.
seriously.
Honestly, try to
there
smoke
was
less weed. Do edibles.
yeah. Oh my God, let's talk about that because when we were in Vegas, our friend Aaron, it was Aaron who told us, right?
Ugh.
That he said that I don't know if a doctor, it must have been a doctor that told him this, but they said basically that coughing is worse for your body than smoking is. So
I feel like that's also something that maybe he said to make himself feel a little bit better about his horrendous vaping habits. But I do believe that coughing is very, very bad for you. Nothing is worse for you than vaping. Don't play with me. That coughing is worse for me than vaping.
I don't know if he was talking about vaping, like nicotine.
Oh,
I
he's just
think
talking
he
about
was saying
weed?
smoking. Yeah, smoking. But
Mm,
because we know that vaping is really bad for you, but also inputting anything into your lungs is bad for you. And
yeah.
people vape weed, so it's like vapor still.
Yeah. No, it's like I notice when I vape weed, my throat fucking hurts.
Like a cart?
When I hit steezies, anything like that, like my throat burns, bro, in a way
Mhm.
that it does not when I take dabs or when I smoke weed.
Dude,
And
how
like the
about when
fucking
you
e-rigs and everything do it too.
how about when you accidentally exhale a steezy through your nose? Oh my God. Do you know what the sensation I'm talking about?
It stings. It like stings. It like leaves like
horrible.
this stinging sensation in your like it's crazy that what are we putting into our bodies?
I know. It's fucking crazy. Honestly.
That's why
And it's nuts
I've been taking
because
just bong rips recently.
yeah, I've been on the bong rips pretty much honestly since I moved. I have been on bong rips way more in general. Like literally for the past year and
Mhm.
almost a half. But a good dab will fucking do ya. But yeah, knowing
You were
like
saying,
thinking
yeah,
about
go.
the coughing thing, I feel like the way that coughing does hurt, it makes sense to say that
Mhm.
shit is fucking up. When you're coughing
Yeah.
unnecessarily, when it's an unprovoked,
It's
like
bad for
you're not
your
sick.
it's bad for your esophagus. It puts a lot of wear and tear on your esophagus, and I guess that kind of opens it up for bad shit to get into it. So there's definitely
Yeah.
some validity to that.
Yeah.
There's definitely some validity to that for sure.
But yeah, I think we should all. I wish that those volcanoes weren't like $1,000. I wish everyone could have one because
Bro.
it's so nice on your. If it does, it does not hurt. It hurts a little bit,
It's very nice
but
on the
not
lungs.
like a fucking very easy on the lungs.
And with
Wow.
that, we're gonna take a quick little break, and we'll be back with some "Am I the asshole?" Chances are, yes, even if it's not in this specific situation.
I'll be right back. Hello.
Hi. All right. Am I the asshole for being livid at my now husband? I did now in parentheses. I put my hands up around my mouth when I said now, for those of you who are not watching this, so you can get the visual.
They said now with the
Yeah,
or
they put
quotation marks.
Parentheses.
Oh, parentheses. Okay,
Those
like
are the
That's
round
why you
ones,
said
right?
that. Yes,
Yeah.
parentheses. Yeah.
Because I guess
Now.
maybe they weren't married at the time. Anyways, they
Yeah,
got
I
married
think-
last week. Congrats, Mazel Tov. All right, my 33. What? It's very confusing. I think it's a typo. This is my 33 female husband, 30 male.
I think
So
she's trying
33.
to say me.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. She's 33. He's 30. And they got married last week. Go off, Queen. I had been super chill throughout the whole wedding planning and during the actual event because I know shit happens, and if anything goes wrong or not exactly how we wanted, it's not that big of a deal and may even make the wedding more memorable for the guests. The one thing I told my husband I did not want to happen was I didn't want him smashing cake in my face. Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. I had a suspicion that he would find it funny to do it, so during the planning, I flat out told him not to do it. I don't think it's funny. I don't want to mess up my makeup that took hours to apply, and I don't want cake on my expensive wedding dress. I told him I would be livid if he did it. He promised he wouldn't. Well, come the cake cutting time, what did he do? Smash the cake in my face. It got on my dress. It messed up my makeup, just like I knew it would. I'm pretty sure his friends convinced him to do it, not that that makes it any better. I kept it together, went and cleaned myself up, and put on a smile for the rest of the reception, but afterwards, I let loose on him. I yelled at him that this was the one thing I asked him not to do, and he promised he wouldn't. He told me I was being dramatic, that it's not a big deal, and that we should just be enjoying our time as newlyweds. So, no. So he says, was I being overly dramatic? No, bitch. No.
No.
How dare he? How
That's
dare
so
that person betray
mean.
your trust? If somebody promises not to do something and then they do it, that is such a violation. I don't
And
have
it
a
makes
reason to
me-
trust you anymore.
Exactly. And it's so sad because that's her husband now. And he just proved himself to
Literally.
not be, trustworthy. That makes me so sad. Because
That
I
makes
would be
me very
so,
sad too.
yeah, like her dress and the makeup alone. And then she mentioned the dress. And I'm like, oh my God, yeah. Who the fuck wants cake on their fucking wedding dress? Like, you want to be able to keep that for the rest of your life. That's horrible.
I
Oh,
don't know who's like I don't get it. I don't get it.
that's so
I
sad.
don't
It's so
get
sad.
it. Yeah, if you ask
No.
someone to not to do something, like even if you've been a
Specific.
total bitch the entire planning process, even if you were a bitch the whole planning process and you were specifically told him not to do this, it's fine. He's choosing to marry you and he should know who he's marrying and he should respect that. Like, are you kidding me?
One fucking thing.
On the day of our wedding, you choose to betray me.
Exactly.
Oh, that's bad
And
start
especially
to the fucking
to the marriage, yeah.
shit.
If you
Yes.
wanted to do something silly and funny or whatever, there is a ton of things that you can do that do not
Why
involve.
don't you bring up one of your bros and smash cake in his face?
Yeah, or ask the wife to do it to him or something. Like,
Yeah, be like, "Oh, baby, can you do it to me?"
yeah.
I will get a
God,
cake
dude.
cannon. I will shoot cake into your face. Are you kidding me?
There you
I'll make
go.
a whole show out of it. So,
Okay.
they're not the
Yeah.
asshole.
No, that woman is a saint, and I feel horrible for her. Okay. Am I the asshole for forcing a girl to share her measurements with the class when she said she didn't want to? I,
I already
37
hate
male,
this.
teach fourth grade, 9 and 10-year-olds. In math, they have been working on measurements, and at the end of this unit, I always have them measure themselves. Then they write this on the board, and because we are also working on mean, median, and mode, we also find this for their heights. I've done it this way for years and never had a problem. This year, I had a student, Fifi, 10, who's very small. She's only around 3'6". Wow, it's crazy that that's a height. So of course, much smaller than her classmates. When we were measuring, Fifi came up to my desk and asked if she could leave her height off of the board because she was insecure about it. I explained that yes, she did. I've had plenty of short kids, and while that has its own challenges, it's not an excuse not to do the assignment. Fifi seemed to accept this. The evening, I get an irate call from Fifi's mother calling me an abysmal teacher and ruining her daughter's self-esteem. She said it was out of line to expect Fifi to participate, and she came home crying because some boys in her class were teasing her and erasing numbers to make her appear even shorter, etc. Although I never witnessed any of that. On one hand, I know that I can't completely reframe a lesson just because one child doesn't like it, but I do feel that I should have had more compassion and sensitivity with Fifi.
Yes,
Am
you
I the
fucking
asshole?
dick. You could have been like, all right, let's just make you 4 feet then. Let's lie.
Yeah.
Is that fair? Who
Yeah.
cares? Like, what the fuck, bro? That is
That's
bad
so
teacher.
sad.
And it's a man. Why am I not surprised that a man couldn't be a little fucking empathetic in that fucking situation?
Mm-hmm.
Like, a little girl just came up to your desk and said she was feeling insecure about something, and you said, deal with it. How dare you? This is... You're ruining the children.
Yeah. Well, I will say, I feel like it is important also for the teacher to establish an environment in the classroom and be like, this somebody's height does not matter. It's not something that they can control. And anybody who is making fun of somebody for something that they can't control is going to be reprimanded immediately. Like, I think I don't think I do think he should have had more because all he had to do is be like, okay, minus one person or whatever. Like, there's a lot of ways he could have done that, but I also think that he had the responsibility to be like, okay, so if this kid feels insecure about this, obviously she feels insecure for a reason. Somebody's making her feel like that. And so you get up in front of the class and you say, if I hear anybody being mean to somebody, or if anybody tells me anything like that, you're going to the principal's office immediately or whatever. And I feel like he didn't do that. I feel like there's because those boys were...
I definitely think that there's a lot of teachers create an environment for bullying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he just literally said, no, fuck off. And
Yeah.
do the assignment.
Yeah.
Like, yes, you are the asshole.
Sad.
Confirmed.
Yeah, you are.
I know.
Fuck you.
Like, to have insecurity like that at such a young age and then just have it ignored and reinforced by an adult who you're supposed to trust, like, that's so horrible. Like, I know teachers have a hard job. I'm not going to sit here and not say, like, I come from a family of educators. Like, I understand teaching is fucking hard. But, like, if you don't have the patience and the fucking compassion for this, don't do it. Literally, don't fucking do it.
That's what I never understood. I feel like there are so many people who go on to work with kids that are not fucking good with kids. And I'm like, why are you
like,
doing
I hate
that?
kids. It's like me going
you would
into
never
deciding
be a
I want to work
teacher.
with kids.
Exactly.
Oh my
like,
God, no.
Yeah.
Never.
I love kids and I would never do that job. So I don't know why people, I think people have a fucking, they just go on a power trip or whatever. But bro, it's like, we need good teachers. Are so important to the development of generations. Like, teachers leave imprints on children forever, and we need to have people that care, which I do feel like there's a lot of teachers nowadays that do care, and that makes me really happy. But yeah, obviously not all of them, because this person's a fucking asshole.
Jerk. So. All right. Next one. Am I the asshole for cleaning my daughter's room? They've been voted the asshole so far. All right. My daughter is 15. She's been instructed many times and agreed to comply with the ideas that recyclable bottles go in the recycling bin and not in her trash can. And additionally, that the space between her bed and the wall is in a trash can. She went out of town for a few days with her mom, and I poked my head into her room to see what state it was in. Needless to say, I was disappointed. 3 bottles in the trash can, 1 behind the dresser, and 1 between the bed and the wall. And assorted other trash in all those locations too. I picked it all up and washed her linen and plus a light vacuuming. While doing so, I texted her about my disappointment. She was losing it. Get out of my room. Leave it. I'll do it when I get home. It's my private space. You're an asshole. I hate you. I told her she had forfeited her privacy privileges when she didn't keep up her end of the agreement to keep it in order. Am I the asshole for cleaning up against her wishes?
Okay, you're not the asshole for cleaning up against her wishes. You're the asshole for being a fucking asshole about it.
Yeah, like if you really wanted it clean, you didn't need to be like, I'm really fucking disappointed in you. And she's not there either to be able to fix the situation. That's like such a harmful thing to do. Because it puts her in a powerless position.
Mm-hmm. And she's just going to have anxiety until she gets home and has to confront her dad. But I will say, I hope she didn't say, you're an asshole, I hate you, because that's really mean.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, if that's the way that she speaks to her father, it sounds like they have an interesting dynamic where there's not a lot of respect going back and forth.
Also, with
ahead.
like the whole recyclable bottles thing, like if you are so worried about recycling, then maybe stop using so many bottles. Like maybe get your kid a refillable water bottle or buy 2 liter of soda so that it's not, you know what I mean?
Lots of things you can do.
Yeah.
Lots of fucking things you can do. But they seem like a kind
Yeah.
of a stickler a little bit,
Yeah.
like a little bit of a stickler,
Yeah.
which can be annoying.
Definitely, especially having that as a parent. I freaking dude, my room was a disaster my whole entire life.
Same,
And
same,
yeah,
same. But
my
but
parents would
I
be
had like
like,
a level
"Please
of
clean it," but yeah,
yeah, like I would always clean it when they told me I needed to clean it. At least I would clean it enough for them to be like, okay, this is fine, you know.
yeah,
But like they
yeah,
never invaded my privacy like that. I wasn't allowed to like have my door shut and stuff like that though. So there wasn't a lot of privacy
with
that I had
friends
anyways.
or in general, you're not allowed to
Like
shut your door.
I was allowed to just like have it cracked, but they did not want me
Oh,
shutting my door.
in
Yeah,
general.
at all.
Interesting. What the fuck do they
Weird,
think you
right?
were doing in there? Like,
Talking to boys.
you know what? That
Like,
just
what the
reminded
fuck
me.
does it
Yeah,
matter?
just like texting or whatever, you can do that with the door open or shut. But
Oh,
that reminds
no.
me. I watched this thing on. Well, we're going back to drugs. I watched this thing on like fentanyl and like how all these kids are dying and like there's these kids who overdosed but didn't die and now they are not allowed to have their door closed at all because somebody has to check on them every 5 minutes to make sure that they're still alive just in case they are still using drugs. um there was like I watched this thing. There was like there's like an epidemic. It's in Fresno, which is really random, but like Central Valley, California. There's a ton of
Mhm.
fentanyl up there, and there's like a lot
What
of
the
kids that have died.
fuck?
Um,
Dang, bro.
okay. Well,
It's really
speaking of
sad.
drugs, this next one, it's kind of long, but
Hey.
am I the asshole for getting pissed at my husband for getting high? My husband
Yes.
and I my husband and I have a 2-year-old son. Last week he came down with a fever that spiked up to 103 degrees. I had an insanely busy work week and some after work events that I couldn't miss. So my husband stayed home for 3 days and took care of our son. By the end of the third day, Thursday, his fever had gone away and we were able to send him back to daycare on Friday. After dinner on Friday, I asked my husband what he would like to do after our son went to sleep. He told me that he just wants some time to himself and that he might play video games with some friends for a few hours. I'll admit I felt a little upset about that. Oh, I felt a little upset that he didn't want to spend time with me after we both had long weeks, but I let it go. That would hurt my feelings too. A couple hours ago, I went to the basement to grab something and I immediately smelled pot. First of all, I already know you're whack because you said pot. I went
Yeah,
to
you're
the
already
living
whack.
room. Yeah, I went to the living room and my husband is clearly stoned. He has his gaming headphones on, a couple empty beers, snacks everywhere, etc. I walked in front of him to get his attention and asked what the fuck he was doing. He took his headphones off and just said, "What?" like a
How dare
teenager.
he have a good night?
Like a teenager acting dumb. I got mad and told him that he's being irresponsible. I asked him what would happen if our son had an emergency, and he told me to chill out and give him a break. He said, even if there is an emergency, it's not like he can't still function. And I'm home too, anyway, so what's the big deal? I told him he should have at least told me he was going to smoke so that I knew what he was doing. He asked if that means I need to tell him when I'm pouring my second glass of wine, and I told him that's not the same thing. Yikes. He said he's had a long week and just wants to relax for a few hours and that he would appreciate some time for himself for the first time this week. He told me I was getting worked up over nothing and that if I'm going to harp on him for relaxing, then I should just leave him alone. For the record, weed is not legal here, but it is decriminalized. I've known he smokes since the day we met over 12 years ago, but since our son was born, he rarely does it anymore and almost never by himself. If we're at a party with friends, he'll take a few hits off a joint or something, but I didn't even know he had any of his own at home. I'm not saying he doesn't
Oh
deserve a
my
chance to
god.
relax, but I feel what he did was reckless considering how sick our son was just a couple days before. If something happened and we needed to go to the hospital, he'd basically be worthless. Girl,
Literally
get the fuck outta
weaponizing
here.
her child's health, first of
Yeah.
all. Weaponizing your child's health is fucking insane. And third of all, you don't know shit about weed, so I'd advise you
Period.
not to fucking
Period.
speak on it.
Period.
Like, are you
Period.
serious? Those beers that you're having, those wine glasses that you're having are 11
That.
times worse for your
Yeah.
decision making than
Yep.
weed will ever be. Literally, weed like
That,
calms you down and chills you
absolutely.
out, but it doesn't make your fucking decision making skills out the window the same way alcohol does.
No,
Like,
and I was just talking to
please.
somebody about this the other day, how like when you're high and something, you know, scary, exciting, dangerous,
Traumatic or
anything,
whatever. Yeah.
you
it
are not
snaps
high
you.
anymore. You're literally
Nope.
sober. But that does not happen
You're like, whoa.
with alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
No.
yeah, this person does seem like the asshole. And it's like, yeah, I didn't even know it, and almost never by himself. Like, girl, no wonder he wants to fucking have
Like,
some
you
time
sound
alone for
like
you.
a piece of work, bro. Like, give your
Yeah.
man a break. Like, there are men out here who don't even spend. Like, I'm not trying to be like, oh, the bar is so low. Appreciate a man who spends time with his kids, but like, he took days off of work just to like stay with a sick child.
Yeah,
He
I
was
think that
tired.
any parent who makes like that is a normal thing to do. You make sacrifices as a parent, but I think like if one person is forced to make the sacrifice that week, then you should give that person a little bit of grace. Like,
A little bit of grace.
and
Like, what is like if he wasn't smoking weed, would that scenario
have
be
been
okay?
fine. Right. Totally. I mean, I will say, like, I think I'd be a little like, if it was Friday night and I was like, babe, what do you want to do tonight? And Adam was like, I want to be left alone. I'd be like, oh. So I can
It sounds
relate to like that person being
Yeah.
like, he doesn't want to spend time with me. That sucks. But it sounds like that hurt
Yeah.
her feelings, and then she turned it into, you're smoking weed. When you should really
Yeah.
just be like, hey, it kind of hurt my feelings that you didn't want to spend time with me. And then he'll be like,
Yeah.
it's not that I didn't want to spend time with you. I just wanted to do this or whatever. Like, but it sounds
Yeah,
like
like literally he was just like feeling tired, you know?
yeah.
Or maybe he was
So,
mad that you did something different. Who knows? Maybe he's mad at you for being his mom all the time.
yeah,
Being the
sounds like
fucking
you guys,
federales. Okay?
yeah, you
Maybe he's
guys
mad
need
about
to,
that.
they need to communicate. I'm also dying at her saying that he would be worthless if there was an emergency. Like, girl, worthless?
What
Are
the
you fucking serious?
fuck, bro? People really think potheads are just like scum.
You know what
Just
they think we
scummy
are?
McScummers.
You know what they think we are? They think that we are those flattened out fucking paper thin people
Deflated.
from the Dare commercials. That's who they think we are. We're just like, and we slide off the couch. Yeah. No.
Die slowly. LOL. Yes, she's definitely the asshole. You are the
that person
asshole.
sucks.
I already knew from the beginning. I said, am I the asshole for getting mad at my husband for getting high? I said, yes.
Yep.
Without even hearing her out first.
Yep.
Ooh, am I the asshole for stepping into my friend's relationship?
Probably. Well,
my friend
we'll
who
find
was
out.
17, turning 18, met this guy who was 20. When she was freshly 18, they started dating. I told her it was weird. I know the age gap isn't that big, but it feels wrong. I feel like 18, you're still transitioning into adulthood, but 20, you're already there mentally.
Why are you laughing?
I also find it weird that he went for an 18-year-old instead of other 20-year-olds. She ended up blocking me on Instagram. Am I the asshole? Should I have just kept my concerns to myself? Yes.
Wait, why are you laughing so hard?
Because I think that's so silly. It sounds like a teenager wrote it. A teenager who like thinks she's woke and she's like a little jealous is what it sounds like.
Well, but let's not act like 20 years old hanging out with a 17-year-old. That's fucking weird.
It's not that weird though.
Yes, 20 years old is still young. Like, you're still young, but there's a big difference between being in high school and not being in high school. Wouldn't you agree?
But like, understand that like I had jobs where I was working with all adults. And so when I went out to functions and did things with people, like I was usually the youngest person in the room, but no one ever treated me in a weird or creepy way. You know? Like,
yeah.
because
But
we weren't on that level. So
yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, do you?
I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Yeah, I would be. I just think about like if when I was like that age and wanted the attention of boys that age. Now when I look back, I'm like, I think it's a little weird. But I would agree with you that 20 is still really young. You're still very, very young.
It's like, and that's the thing for me. So I feel like and I know it's an arbitrary rule, but it's mine. So fuck off. After the age of 21, you need to start hanging out with people who can go out and like do legal things.
Have a drink.
You know, you like if you're gonna be dating, you should be dating people who can do the same things as you. It starts getting weird to like start something with someone who like is,
well, 17
like my
to
sister
20,
for instance.
There's a big difference between 17 and 20.
But she's 18 when they started dating. Let's be clear.
Yeah,
they were acquaintances of some sorts, but they started dating when she was 18. They were not dating when she was 17. So he waited for her to be legal. But like in my head, I'm thinking there's 40-year-olds doing that. Okay, there's 50-year-olds doing that. I don't have too much of an issue with a guy 2 years older being like, I want someone younger, because that's really not that much younger. It's not. And mentally, physically, they're pretty much on the same boat.
I think
they might have a couple more opportunities.
Yeah.
Literally, 18 to 20 was not this drastic change of character for me. 20 to 25, insane.
Big difference.
The way I changed,
Yeah.
But 18 to 20, I was just a little asshole. Like,
yeah.
and, selfish.
If the person is like 18, and I feel like there's a big difference between somebody who's in high school and somebody who's not in high school anymore, because there's that like the older person has their entire day to work with. They don't have to like get up and go to school 5 days a week the way a high schooler does. But
what if they're in college?
Yeah, right. If the 18, I mean, when I was 18, I was in college. I was never 18 in school. So yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like I had an issue when a 19-year-old and a 25-year-old are talking. Like, what business do you have speaking to a teenager if you're 25?
Yes,
that's weird.
It is weird.
Like you're a fucking adult. All right, so
yes,
but 18, 20, it's.
Yeah, you're right. I definitely was the same person pretty much from 18 to 20. There is no, very little growth there.
Very little growth.
Or do you want to take a bong rip? I was gonna take one, but
I would love
have
to
one
take
packed.
A bong rip.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's you're
hilarious. Right. Like I know, like in our heads, I instantly want to be like, "Ew, gross! How dare he?" But those are two kids right there. If I hear about something happening to a 20-year-old, I'm like, that's a kid. Like that is a child, like that's a baby.
Honestly, anybody younger than me makes me feel like that.
25 is my cutoff. Once you're 25, I'm like, you're too grown to be acting this way.
Yeah,
too grown to
definitely.
Be acting this way.
I agree. Upper 20s, late 20s, it's like, come on.
Get your shit together.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that person was being a little hypersensitive to things. Because like if you think about it, like juniors and freshmen date all the time, like seniors and freshmen.
One of those,
See, and it's not like a crazy thing. Like it's like, oh, it's the older boy, but literally it's a couple years.
His parents were very uncomfortable with him dating me. I was a sophomore and he was a senior, and he was turning 18 at the end of the year, and his parents were very uncomfortable with him dating me.
Silly.
And
I get that, but like. You slut.
Mm-hmm.
You fucking slut.
Yep. Are you ready?
Joya. Just slamming ass sophomore year. My goodness.
Oh, I was slamming ass way before that. But yeah, I was.
Oh my God. A whore. A strumpet.
It's just so funny because his family's like, you can't date her. She's a child. And I was like,
and you said,
I just. Watch what I showed him how to do.
Slutty child.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah. Excelente. Okay. I have the next one. Am I the asshole for letting my friend eat the food my pregnant wife wanted?
Yes.
My wife is
It doesn't
pregnant.
matter. She's carrying your child.
Yeah. My wife is pregnant and has a lot of cravings. On Sunday night, we had some of my friends over, and I had cooked 2 dinners. I cooked some mac and cheese, and I had also cooked a traditional food from my wife's country. My wife was craving the traditional food and had said she'd not eat mac and cheese, so she could eat the traditional dish. She got kind of sick at some point and went to lie down and didn't want to eat yet and said she'll eat later when she gets up. Most of my friends wanted to try out the traditional dish, and mac and cheese was left untouched. Then another friend of mine arrived, and I asked him if he wanted to eat, and he said yes. I saw that there was only 1 plate left of the traditional dish, but out of politeness, I had to ask him what he preferred, and he said the traditional dish, so I gave him the last plate. Half an hour later, my wife got up and she was hungry. She went to make her plate and saw that the traditional dish was over, and she got upset and said, "You didn't keep any for me?" I said the guys wanted to try it out. She started tearing up and said, I told you I was craving it, and you supposedly made it because I was craving it. One of my friends asked why I can't make some more, but the ingredients were finished and the grocery store was closed, so I couldn't get any more ingredients at that moment. She went to bed tearing up and didn't eat anything. She didn't want mac and cheese. My friends told me that she's acting like a spoiled kid and I should ignore her, but I can't help but feel like an asshole for not keeping her a plate. Yes, you are an asshole. It is so easy.
I want to go fight those friends, first of all.
Yeah. Yeah.
You couldn't just, you're being polite to some random fucking friend was more important than making sure the person who's carrying your child is fed and happy tonight? That's the least you can do. She's literally sacrificing her entire body to bring your child into the world. She's like giving up herself. Yeah, how dare you?
That literally makes me so sad. She started tearing up. Yeah,
did they vote that he was the asshole?
Let me see. I'm holding my dogs from being fucking crazy. It doesn't say. It doesn't say. It says 84% upvoted, but it doesn't say anything about being an asshole. Hang on 1 second. I'm going to put my dogs out, even though we don't have very long left.
It's totally fine. No, 10 out of 10. That guy's an asshole, and more
piece
so,
of shit.
His friends are also fucking assholes. Like, that's just a whole asshole crew. Like, it sounds like a bunch of chads, bro.
To say that any pregnant woman is acting like a spoiled kid for any reason is absolutely fucking insane. Insane. Like, that is crazy.
They have no idea what her body is going through, and the fact that all of you were rude enough to not even ask, like, oh, should we save some?
Dude, like, it is so easy to be like, oh, shoot, this is what she really wanted. I'm just going to save.
I'll have some mac and cheese.
You know what? That's what he should have done. He should have made her a plate.
Set it aside.
Before it was gone. Exactly. And then the friend would have gotten there. Yeah.
This is very indicative of how high of a priority she is for him. And it shows that she is not a high priority for him. If I can get out to her, run, girl. Run. Yeah. That's a fucking terrible man to be around.
Just makes me so sad to think that this is happening to people, and people are coming to these realizations when they're already like the person whose husband smashed them with the cake at their wedding when she specifically asked him not to.
You're already so deep in.
Yeah. Exactly. And this lady's pregnant with his baby, and he's like, oh, sorry. Everybody else wanted the food.
The bros wanted some. I had to feed the bros.
The bros wanted some. Ugh, fucking A. Yes, you are the fucking asshole, you piece of shit.
How dare he? Anyways, that's gonna conclude our podcast for this week. We will see. Are we recording at a regular time next week?
I think so. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week, and we'll see if I can go not 4 for 4, but be on time and awake.
Gorgeous. Love it.
Queen. All right.
Thanks for listening, guys. See you next week.
TTYL.
Bye.